I just wanted a meal, maybe a kingdom. Certainly a few more miracles would be great, but I am unprepared to relinquish my will of how the Messiah is supposed to behave. I'm unwilling to give up on my plan for the prophet that God's going to bring into this world. And don't you get me started on all those weird metaphors you're using. Your words are too hard. I won't change my lifestyle for them. I will not submit to them. Though it is folly and though it is insanity, we shake our fists at God. And we stumble around in the darkness and we plunge into the depths of our own demise. And we need to be rescued from that insanity. And that's where the hope is, Christian. To be found in the fact that Jesus has given this rescue to you, and he has called you to find comfort and confidence in him as a result. Let's take a look at how that's the case as we draw this chapter to a close. Let's take a look at our first point of the day. Jesus' words are God-given life. Jesus' words are God-given life. One of two observations. We know that the people say Jesus' words are too hard, and we've connected even to the great obstinance of our sinful nature, but let's see how he responds to it, okay? Beginning in verse 61, but Jesus, knowing in himself that disciples were grumbling about this, said to them, "Do you take offense at this? Then what if you were to see the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? that no one can come to me unless it is granted him by the Father. Now, let's take a look at how this passage shows us that Jesus' words are God-given life, and then let's understand why we ought to be encouraged by this. John wants us to know twice over in verse 61 and 64 that none of the behavior of the masses, the so-called disciples, surprises Jesus. I know that might not be a surprise to you, but I just want you to get it. It doesn't surprise him. John told us and shows us quite a few times that Jesus, he knows the hearts of men. I have stomped on that soapbox as hard as I possibly can so that you know that he sees your heart too, friend. Jesus sees into the hearts of these grumblers, and he chooses, very interestingly, not to appeal to them. Instead, what he says is, do you take offense at what I say? It's an interesting word, offense. The root word for the word offense in Greek means to trap or to cause to stumble. And so what he's literally saying there is, are my words a stumbling block for you? Now I wonder what I would have followed up with in this moment if I had known that 15,000 people, whatever I said, they hung in the balance. Would I try to appeal to them? Would I try to rephrase the message to help them understand? Would I beg them to stay? Would I change my stance and give in? Would I follow the people to see where they're going so I could lead them there? I'm pretty sure I would have done all those things. And I'm sure that's what the people expected